Hello, hi, welcome to my little nook. Over about the past 6-ish months, I have been thinking a lot about change, and it's something that I am trying to implement into my life a little bit more as the months go on. I recently graduated from college. I'm about 22 years old. I am a new adult. I've done so much adulting in the past 6 months, it's ridiculous. And as a result of that adulting, I am now starting to make changes in my life that are going to affect probably the next, 60 years. I'm also looking back on my life when I was growing up and seeing how much I've changed and the differences between who I was and who I am today. Change is scary. It sucks sometimes and it hurts a lot, but it's also really refreshing, and I don't think I really appreciated it until now. So what kind of change am I talking about? This is all kinds of change, but really I'm just talking about changing who I am in how I present myself, the kind of things that I enjoy doing, my habits, the stuff that I like and dislike, changing my inner self. A lot of the parts of myself that I'm working on changing are things like my wardrobe, how I present myself with my makeup, my room, social media, and even just like the things that I consume. Not food, because I have no idea how to cook and I'm still working on that. But I've started watching things like on TV and movies and stuff that I normally would not watch, and it's making me really excited. So I wanted to talk to you guys about change today and your identity and other things that are kind of important. So yeah, whatever. What really sparked this whole thing about change was I started watching a lot of lifestyle videos. Now, if you watch lifestyle vloggers, you'll know they're very obsessed with their aesthetic, and they're obsessed with like life and being at home and like being cool and being themselves. Branding is another word for being yourself in some ways. I never really knew what my brand was. And to this day, I still am a little bit fuzzy on what it looks like. I'm working on that change. But I think what happened was, growing up, I had a lot of interests in things. And so when I had an interest, I threw myself into that interest, and that interest became a part of my identity. However, there are certain parts of my identity that just kind of happened. For a long time, I only really cared about, books and movies and music and stuff like that. And so the rest of my life never really, became a thing. And one of the things that I've noticed becoming a 22-year-old and starting adulthood or whatever is that there are a lot of parts of your life that you don't realize that you want to change until you look at them later. These areas are kind of stupid. Like I said, it's like clothing and like how you decorate your room and where you live and who you hang out with and like how you act towards family or how you act in general. It just kind of happens, and that's probably like a nature versus nurture kind of talk that we could discuss in the future. Specifically, I guess I want to talk about clothing and my room. My room and clothing is a mismatch of almost everything that I have ever enjoyed. It's much easier to see this in my room because I have things from like 10 years ago that probably don't even need to be here anymore. I keep everything. I'm an intense hoarder. I'm the kind of person that's like, oh my gosh, this person gave me this thing 5 years ago. I can't throw it away. They probably care that I still have it. With clothing, I just sort of collect clothing. For a long time, I wouldn't really have any kind of plan when it comes to clothing. I'd be like, ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that kind of fits. Ooh, that fits a little bit and it looks kind of good, so I guess we're gonna take it. And a lot of my clothing buying habits were based off of, pricing, what was on sale, what would fit me, and what looks slightly cool in the style-wise. Because of that means my room and my clothing look nothing alike. I'm so mismatched. I don't really have a brand on any of that. And it's hard to appreciate anything because it's all different. Nothing matches. And so, reflecting on my life growing up, it was great because, I could just kind of wear anything all the time, and my room was just all the things that I liked. But now, going into adulthood, I'm like, that's nice, but it doesn't match, and everything looks terrible together. But it's kind of hard to know who you are when all of your stuff is just kind of thrown together based on, stupid things like what's on sale and somebody gave this to you. And so because of that, that's kind of why I've embraced this whole change thing. I really want to make my life more cohesive in some ways. I really want to work on creating a wardrobe that really reflects who I am, but also has like a cohesive color scheme that's consistent, that really shows off me. And the same way for my room. I'm working on changing my room, and hopefully I'm going to move soon so I can actually make some big changes. But I want things to go together more. And to do that, I have to change, and I have to change who I am, and I have to start doing things a little bit differently. A lot of this was brought on by my Marvel marathon. If you saw the video, I watched all the Marvel movies in about a 10-day period, and I never thought I would do that. Who I am doesn't like Marvel. Who I am didn't think she would ever watch Parks and Recreation. But who I am now is like, well, I guess that's a part of my identity. I guess that's who I am. I guess we're changing things up a little. And I've found it's much more exciting when you change things. Now is really fun because I get to make conscious decisions about what I consume and what I make and what I look like. Whereas I feel like when I was a teenager, I did have some of those ideas and decisions, but it was more convenience. I'm a very lazy person, and so a lot of my life has just been smashed together until it looked kind of good, and I don't want that anymore. Changing who I am takes a lot of work and planning, and like you actually have to be conscious of what you're doing at all times, but it's so much more fun. I think the thing I've learned starting out my 20s is that even though I thought I knew who I was, there is room to make changes and alterations. You can edit your identity anytime you want. You can start cooking if you want to. You can go traveling. You can become a person who really likes superhero movies, even though you never thought you would. I think the biggest thing that has held me back from this whole change situation in the past is that I'm very conscious of other people in these decisions that I make. I don't want to rock the boat. I'm the kind of person that I like being invisible. I like being in the background and not having people notice me when I make changes. And so that has caused me a lot of pain growing up. Specifically, I'm thinking of when I started wearing makeup. For a long time, I was very stubborn, and I was like, I'm never gonna wear makeup. It's really weird. Like, there's no point to it. It's expensive. Like, what is the deal here? Don't make me wear makeup. And then there was a tipping point where I was like, actually, makeup can cover my acne, and it can make my eyes look really good. So I'm gonna buy some makeup. And so I started wearing makeup, and it felt like every time I wore it at the beginning, people were like, why are you wearing makeup? I thought you didn't like makeup, aren't you? And it progressed from there into, making fun of me, to pointing it out whenever it happened, to making jokes, whatever. And it made me not want to wear makeup, honestly. And that's why I don't do things that I want to do, is because I fear that people will point them out. It's not even that they have to make a joke about it. Even if people are really complimentary about something and they're like, oh my gosh, is that new? I love that on you. Like, no, please don't point it out. I'm trying it and I want to be invisible. That's also why I don't cook in my kitchen, because I'm afraid somebody will come in and be like, oh my gosh, are you cooking? You never cook. Why are you cooking? It makes really no sense. But I've been thinking a lot about change lately, and so I'm working on changing, and it's really hard when I know that people are gonna come after and judge me. But you know what? It's important, and it's necessary, and it's okay. I think if I could tell anything to my younger self, it would be to not feel guilty about changing my opinions on things. There's so many things I do now that when I was growing up, I was adamantly against, like makeup, like politics, like superheroes. And if I had just let myself explore everything without judging who I am, I think I would be much more happy, and I think I would have found some things that I love a whole lot sooner. If you limit yourself and you say, well, this is who I am cannot like superheroes, who I am cannot wear makeup, then suddenly you're limiting yourself to things that you may really enjoy. I'm now realizing this could hold true to food. There's a lot of food I don't let myself eat because I know I will hate it, and that's probably not true. And I wish I could tell that to like middle school me, because middle school me was so cynical and set in her ways and did not want to change. Let yourself change. It's okay. The world is not going to end. People are not going to judge you. They probably don't even care. I wish I had known that sooner, because now that I'm making all these changes, it's like super exciting and fun, and I can wear new clothes and I can get rid of things. Oh my God, I can get rid of things. I don't really know what this ramble was for. I just wanted to talk about change because I'm changing a lot, and I'm trying to implement changes that I hope Oh god, now I'm thinking about future Jenna. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you plan on changing anything major? It doesn't even have to be major. Do you plan on making changes in your life? Have you made changes because of the new year? Are you stuck in your ways and stubborn? Cool. Thanks for listening. I just wanted to talk. Okay. Bye.